Welcome to another episode of You Suck. I'm your host, VladV.
And I'm Joey.
And today we are going to go over Paramore's not-so-new video. I mean, it's kind of newish.
2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Running Out of Time.
Running Out of Time. Well, I mean, it sounds like... I mean, they've been around for what? Almost 20 years now, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Fuck, man. I can't believe it's like yesterday. What is things old people say?
Oh God. Yeah. Like that. The dad estimations. Like how much rock? How much you think that rock weighs over there? 45, 50 pounds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
We're old.
You stand up and your knee starts cracking. Good
They
shit.
just took a pint of fluid out of my back.
Did they? Are you being serious?
No.
Shit. So what do you know about old Paramore there?
Very little, man.
Yeah.
I know that that they have a really rabid fan base.
Do they?
Yeah.
I know the one song. That's about it.
I probably would know a couple if somebody played me a couple, but man,
Sure.
I don't know. It just wasn't wasn't my thing. From what I remember hearing, they seem like a good band. I mean,
Right.
it's not a
I
style
like
of
Haley's
music that-
voice. I liked her hooks and everything like that. I don't
Yeah.
have any complaints. I just never. I just never really got into them.
No, just not. I don't know. We're more of like a kind of heavier,
Right.
edgier
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
they're safe.
They made me think of like Hoobastank or something. You know,
It's kind of the same time frame, wasn't it?
I think so. I think it was around the same time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I think they just kind of got lost in the mix, and I think at the time I was thinking she was kind of jocking off Gwen Stefani a little bit when she was in what's that fucking band called? That she was
No
in?
doubt.
No Doubt. That's right. And I don't know. I'm probably completely wrong about that, but I just remember. I
There's
just
a
remember
great chance
thinking,
that I'm completely wrong
yeah,
about that.
It's just because that's just what I thought at the time, and I didn't care enough. People were like, "Oh my god," but it's a girl singer, and I'm like, "Who gives a shit?" You know what I mean? I either
that's kind of why I wanted to do this reaction is because I've got no preconceived notions whatsoever. There's zero bias going in, and I just want to see what they got.
Yeah, I remember thinking that she had a little element of like maybe Mike Patney or like even like Incubus-y kind of. But again, all
like
the bands were kind of doing that at that time.
Well, and like the way that she writes vocal lines, you
Right.
mean? Okay.
And her hooks and the way she kind of her vibrato at the end of the notes and little tiny things like that where you can kind of maybe like pick up an influence. So,
Well, if she was influenced by Mike Patton now, she'd be churning out a bucket of shit every time because,
yeah.
I saw Mr. Bungle in a rehearsal video and I was like, all right, what's this going to be? And then I saw Dave Lombardo, one of my favorite drummers,
Slayer,
wasting his talent in Mr. Bungle, playing their fucking shittiest. Why can't they play California?
Yeah, I don't know. I sure would like like a 20th anniversary like remix. That's good as far as sound wise. I hated the sound of that fucking album. I love the album, but I hated the sound on it.
And then Mike Patton had his Coolio dreads going on, where it's coming out, all the side.
Now?
Top. Yes, still.
Oh no, stop that.
It looks like that
grown
time,
fucking man.
That time off for his mental health didn't do any good.
Yeah, no.
You guys don't know who Mr. Bungle is. It's okay.
Nobody knows that.
Let's review some Paramore.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
actually very Mr. Bubbly.
It kind of was,
Wasn't it? It was
a
something.
little bit.
It wasn't like as wild or crazy, but it was surprise. Like that's interesting that we neither one of us has listened to the song at all. So it's interesting that even came up like that. But yeah, I guess that from that Bungle influence or that Mike Patton influence, it's definitely detectable to me, and it's like kind of funky.
Yeah, and the I don't like the drum sound at all. That sort of lo-fi kind of thing. But maybe it works for a song like this because the whole song is kind of peculiar in a good way. But man, so far I'm actually really impressed with the chord structure, because it's not just they're not just playing these like root fifth power chord kind of things. Those are sophisticated chords that as a drummer I have no idea what they are. So but I know a guitar player that knows his shit when I hear it, and this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they're doing interesting stuff, and it's and it's like I said in the last reaction that we just did. It sounds like they're taking some chances. I don't know if that's. I don't know if I'm going to end up liking this song, but it's definitely not what Paramore or what I thought Paramore sounded like.
Yeah,
it just sounds like they're saying fuck it.
Right.
Like, let's just try some shit.
Paramore fans, is this way different than what they would normally do? Help these old guys out.
Yeah, because I don't know. To me, it's a new direction, and I think that's really cool if they're experimenting, especially now that they're older. Like, fuck it, we made our money.
Yeah. Let's see where else this goes.
Yeah, kind of flatlined for me.
Yeah, I was wanting it to go somewhere other than that.
Yeah, I wanted it just kind of stayed the same. Like you said, it was building tension there, and I really wanted them to go heavier in that bridge, a little bit higher energy, and then go into the chorus again, like a heavier. Because she's doing all this, like, like she's pretty dynamic.
Yep.
Vocally, there's like these little runs that are being done in the background and everything like that. I like what they're doing. I just think that dynamically, if you don't change up, if you're not crescendoing, I'm just getting used to it, and I'm just starting to get bored.
Yeah.
At the 3-minute mark, I'm just kind of like, okay, I've already heard the song.
I would make a joke about only having 35 seconds and they're running out of time to do something. But if I made that in good faith, I think I would just punch myself right in the dick, because that's a terrible joke.
So
but anyway,
don't make the running out of time joke.
But they are. Something needs to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I think they're gonna wrap up this chorus, and I don't know, fade out.
Is it gonna be one of those little vignettes at the end? Like everybody's doing this thing where they cut it off at like 3:08, and then there's like, some like little comedy sketch at the end, and then directed by and a bunch of credits.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's like got the Alice in Wonderland thing happening.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to mention is the theme is I'm so over the Alice in Wonderland thing. You could have come up with something a little bit more original than that, but that's not their fault. I guess it's the director's fault.
But doesn't the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, isn't he always running out of time?
Yes. So I mean, I get it. I get the the parallel and everything like that. Just the theme is so played. But again, back to the MK Ultra, themes that they like to run in the music industry and in movies. So whatever. But that's just me being a conspiracy theorist. Let's listen.
The song has excellent elements in it. She was crushing it vocally. I mean, obviously there's, studio tricks are just the norm now, but I like the tone of her voice. She's not doing that thing where when she hits higher notes, she's going into kind of a like head voice, almost falsetto thing like a lot of chicks do.
Fucking bitch.
She when she hits higher notes, she's belting it out and it sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the band did a great job. Super funky, rhythm section was tight, chords were cool. The song just fucking went nowhere.
Yeah,
it had plenty of chances.
I liked everything. It had kind of like a 70s meets 80s disco kind of thing, like right on the cusp of 70s and 80s, which I liked. I'm not a huge fan of retro shit, but I thought that was good. I'm definitely happy that it wasn't what I expected to hear. I don't know if it was good enough for me to listen to it again. It's one of those things, like if you ever had something to eat and you're like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
But do you crave that? Or are you going to be like a week from now go, man, you know what? I really wish I had one of those fucking.
Yeah, like
I really wish I could listen to that Paramore song again. Oh, man.
Right. This is a smash burger. I'm not going back to smash burger again. It was all right, but I'm not going back again. I'm just gonna make one at home because it's better. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't regret it, but
nope.
you don't necessarily crave it.
I would listen to this over that Stain song we just heard.
Yeah. I'm on the fence about that statement. I don't know how I feel about that. I'd probably go back to Stain just because it's a little bit more reliable, and I'm a very lazy listener sometimes.
Well,
my biggest do what?
At least you admit it.
Yeah, my biggest gripe is just that the choruses sounded kind of cut paste by the third one, and I wanted her to get less perfect and a little bit. I always want people to get more angry. I want them to get a little bit more chaotic. You know what I mean? Especially when you hear this perfect production, I want people's voices to start cracking a little bit. I want to hear more emotion. And when I hear them building tension, I want that shit to land. I want it to deliver.
Well, when AI starts making music, that's how it's going to sound. It's going to sound perfect every time. Yeah. And that is boring as fuck.
It already kind of sounds like that.
Well, yeah. Because, I mean, there is no room anymore for imperfection in the studio, because now people's ears have been conditioned for perfection. So even if people went back to making music like they did when it actually sounded like a human doing it, I think the layperson would be like, this guy can't sing, or this chick can't sing, or the there was an imperfection in the drums there. These guys must suck. But in reality, everything that you hear now has been meticulously edited like someone would edit a novel.
Transhumanist perfection.
Yeah, and
I think a lot of it is too, like the artist, it just being they can't leave their ego at the door, and they want to sound like this perfect, immaculate God.
I think if you're not doing that these days, you're taking a gun or a knife to a gunfight. And I don't think the labels would even allow it. And producers, I don't think, want to allow imperfection either, because since everyone is supposed to have everything sounding perfect coming out of their studio or their production, they don't want to put the gun down first.
Yep.
So it's a bunch of people holding guns to each other's heads, and no one's got the balls to put it down first. So we're going to have more and more and more of these perfect recordings that don't even sound like humans did them. And pretty soon, humans won't be doing them. Dude, I heard an AI version of Kurt Cobain singing
that was
Black
terrible.
Hole Sun. That's
That
a
shit was
fucking travesty of a...
That was a disaster. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with no bell curve,
Man, I really, really, really wanted to like that song because it's got some cool elements in it. But I'm going to have to go in the fiver on that one because I think they had an opportunity to really take that thing and just jump off a cliff dynamically and do something really awesome with it, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They flat, like you said, they flatlined.
Yeah, and I liked that they experimented. I liked that they definitely. I don't think they sound like anything out that's out right now, which is cool. I don't know that I'm interested in hearing that song again. Like the song had all the bells and whistles of a good song, but it didn't have that gestalt that I'm always looking for. It didn't go to the next level. It just had. It's like a really hot chick with a lot of makeup on. You know what I mean? And she's like a 6 and looks like a 9. And maybe if you get that certain angle, you're like fucking 10. You know what I mean? But it's not. It's got all the right lighting, and it's got all the right makeup on, and all the right her titties are coming out of her fucking turtleneck. You know what I mean?
We are gonna get so much hate on this.
I'm just saying. I'm not talking about Haley. I'm talking about the song. I feel like it's got all the bells and whistles, but it just at the end of the day, it just didn't deliver.
To me, it was like a roller coaster that only went up about 12 feet.
Yeah, it's one of those fun park roller coasters where you pay $35 for 7 tickets,
Dude,
and it costs 8 tickets for you 2 to get on. And you're like, motherfucker.
I could have eaten a bear claw and cotton candy and a fucking big gulp at the same time on this. I wouldn't have lost a drop.
Right, you would have been like, oh, okay. Oh, easy. Oh, easy.
Well,
turn. Here comes a turn.
Yep. That's
no
it.
loot.
That's the deal.
Yeah, and that's what that was. It was just trailer park kind of go nowhere roller coaster. Nice try though. I'm gonna be meaner than you. I give it a 7.
They're a good band. I think that somewhere in pre-production or production itself, no one went, "Hey, how's the arrangement?"
Right.
Because that would have taken too much time.
The arrangement was fine. It was basic Beatles arrangement structure. Verse, chorus, verse, bridge, verse, chorus, bridge, and it was exactly and it had like a little segue between the second chorus and the bridge, whatever. It just didn't. At the end of the day, you got to write a fucking good song that people get addicted to, and they want to hear again right away. That's the fucking goal, and that wasn't it.
Take them on a journey, man. Not a stroll. This one was a stroll.
Yeah. All right. So if you got any hate mail, please drop it in the comments. I'm sure we'll get plenty on this one.
You said tits. You can't
talking about titties. If you got any love mail, we'd love to hear from you. Drop that shit in the comments as well. And if you like our videos, please catch us every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at noon where we release new videos. We've got a little bit of a back catalog building up, so if you're too impatient and can't wait to see our next video, just go backwards and hate on some of those other videos. And I think that's it.
It is.
All right. We'll see you next time.